I'm Zander Leong, Verde's webmaster.
And I'm Mia Baldonado. I'm a staff writer. And today we're going to be talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons. So, Xander, why did you get Animal Crossing?
Yeah, actually, my friends got it for me as a gift, and we've been playing together with it ever since.
I got Animal Crossing at the beginning of the pandemic just because it was trending at the time and people were trying to find like fun games to play at home. And also Animal Crossing came out, I think, around the time the pandemic started. So that's when I got it. Not gonna lie, it was a little hard for me to get past the like initial stages of Animal Crossing where you have to like gather your resources and like pay off initial debt. I kind of stopped playing for a little bit. And also I didn't have any friends who played, which I think didn't make it as fun. But then another one of my friends got the game over the summer and then I got back into it and I've been into it since then.
Yeah, I myself am still stuck on that like initial stage. So there's a lot of like kind of raising money for yourself that you have to do. But at the same time, there's so many like kind of opportunities to like try different things. And one that really stood out to me is kind of the self-expression aspect. So through the game, you can like change your character's clothing or your hairstyle, or, like makeup and all that. I think especially this year where everything is kind of on Zoom and you're just like a set of shoulders and up. It's really fun to kind of express yourself in different ways, like with your friends. To me, it provides like a safe space almost to like try out different like ways of expressing yourself that you maybe wouldn't do in real life, even if it wasn't a pandemic.
Mhm. Going off of like expression, something I also really like that's like outside of clothing is like kind of choosing an island aesthetic. And I think like everyone's island looks so unique. And that's one of my favorite parts of the games, like visiting other islands and just seeing how different they are. I mean, there's a lot of items in Animal Crossing, there's like hundreds of items, but at the same time, like that's not that much. It's not unlimited like it is in the real world. And the
Mhm.
fact that like everyone can come up with different like creative ideas for their islands, I think is super cool.
Yeah, and since you mentioned visiting other people's islands, I think another really big part of the game is kind of the community around it. One part of that is just kind of seeing their aesthetic. You kind of get to know someone.
Yeah. I also noticed that like I like to go online a lot and search up like different ideas and like look at Animal Crossing island tours and all that kind of fun stuff. And I've noticed that like the Animal Crossing community is like very friendly and like very positive and uplifting. Like whenever people get invited to like other people's islands, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is so cute. This is so creative. I'm going to like copy this onto my island." So, I really enjoy the online community as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think another kind of aspect of that is connecting with friends like that you have in real life, especially due to the pandemic. We can't really see each other as easily or like go with friends and stuff. So Animal Crossing is definitely a way to kind of visit each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree because like I do enjoy FaceTiming and Zooms, but at the same time, like it can be kind of tiring to just be staring at like someone else's face without an activity to do. If you think about it in real life, like you never really just sit down at a table and just stare at someone else and talk. It's nice to have some sort of bonding activity to do. How do you think Animal Crossing compares to like other video games that you've played?
I think it's actually really different in a lot of ways. A few like aspects that come to mind are like the lack of a competitive part and also kind of the pace of just how you go through the game.
Yeah, definitely on like the competitive part. Like I don't really play that many video games. I feel like most of the games that I've played are really focused on like improving your skill and like getting a good ranking, however that might look.
Yeah, I feel like in those games are really often like working towards a specific goal, similar to like linear storyline games, where you're kind of going through a story that's already been kind of set out, and you're just working towards the end. So, for example, like Pokemon games, I think also Mario games are kind of structured like that.
Yeah, I definitely think that like even like Animal Crossing compared to other like simulation type games, like Minecraft or like The Sims. One of like the best parts about Animal Crossing is that all of the design in it is just really aesthetically pleasing. And I think that's kind of what sets it apart from like those other games.
Another aspect of that is the game actually make you slow down. You can only get like a certain amount of resources each day. Don't like rush through it and actually enjoy the process of getting somewhere.
Yeah, like the store closes at 10 p.m. Obviously, people find ways to get around this. There's like time skipping, there's loopholes like in every game, but I really like how it encourages you to play the game at like a comfortable, realistic pace.
Yeah, that reminds me of another game I played, the Zelda Breath of the Wild one. A big defining aspect of that was kind of how you could do things the way you want. Like there is like a storyline, but you're not forced to follow like certain things or like do certain tasks. You can kind of go wherever you want. And I think just the amount of like possibilities there are for what you can do and like how you can direct your game really makes it so you can play with others who have been playing for much longer.
There's just so many little like nuances in the game that like it really doesn't matter like technically like what point you're at, because like what we said, it's not really a linear game, so there's just like infinite things you can do on your island. I'm nowhere near close to done with my island. I don't think I ever will be, and I think that's why Animal Crossing is such a good game to play with other people.
Yeah, so overall, from how it differs so much from other games to how you can kind of create a community around it, but also express yourself, we think Animal Crossing is a really great game to play, especially during the pandemic.
You guys can check out other Verde stories at verdemagazine.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.